cold here this morning. It says it's 11 degrees. I'm sure we could take like maybe 10 degrees off that. Uh, it's a bit of an early update because I got woken up about 5 o'clock this morning to my poor puppo Fuzzy having I guess an episode, like a mini seizure. He's had them for a while. It's been, gosh, it's almost been a year. I think it would be in September or August when he's had his fits and he got diagnosed with having um, just random seizures because he's old and he's got a heart condition. So he got diagnosed with a heart condition, then later on he got diagnosed with a lung pressure condition. So he has a bit of a heart murmur, and I think one of his strings is kind of snapped or broken a bit. So, despite the fact that he can run around like a puppy sometimes, I'm to try and keep him calm. Now, you guys know trying to keep a dog calm with certain things is pretty much impossible. But I've been trying anyway, so I've been walking him short walks. When he starts to get a little poop, to pick him up and I walk him around the rest of his route, put him down at some key point so he can sniff and have a look, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to try and run off again because he's like that. And, that's Pubbo's for you. But he's doing fine now. He's recovered quite well, and um, looking at sleeping. So he just got up before and he had a bit of a drink. He's probably back off to the warm bed to sleep. um, seizures can be very serious with dogs, and they can't really tell you what's going on. And sometimes they're kind of there, but they're not there. Um, and it can be pretty scary for some people, and it was scary for me when I first saw it. I was like, oh geez, what's going on? Um, so after when I was having seizures, just kind of pat him and try and calm him down, because the more they get anxious, the more they're, mum, I don't know what's going on, or dad, I don't know what's going on, the more that can bring on more seizures because they're a bit stressed out. So try and keep him calm, depending on, because his seizures are not that bad, and that he's flailing around a lot as some other dogs are. So I sort of comfort him, and then afterwards he goes into sort of like a sort of staring I'm stoned kind of phase. So I kind of pick him up and cuddle him, and blow a little bit into his nose, pat him just to let him know, hey, I'm there, it's me, it's mum. um, and after a while he kind of like, okay mum, let me out now, I'm fine, you're worrying over nothing. And then he kind of goes to sleep for, apart from getting up, he'll sleep pretty soundly for a while. Of course, I don't sleep soundly after that. But anyway, Fuzzy's doing good. The vet said basically it's quality of life for him because he's over 17 years old now. So that's ancient in doggo years, and his eyesight's not what it used to be, his hearing's not what it used to be, but he still gets up and runs around like a puppy, and looks at things. So he has his good days and his bad days, particularly with the colder weather now. I've got him a little jumpy and everything. So I think I'll have a cup of tea and relax into the morning. That being a hump day, will I think it a lot of these things, particularly with Fuzz, has brought home a lot of what's really important in life. Some people have like petty arguments and stuff like that, and sometimes they're not so petty, but I look at it and go, well, what are these things? Does it need to be resolved? Is it an ongoing thing? There's a few things in my life that I'm like, does it need to be resolved? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Does it really matter that much to me? Have I gone on with life pretty much as it is? And has something like this become basically your whole life? And finding ways to reduce some of that stress. Um, Earlier this year with New Year's, I didn't really make a resolution as such, but I did sort of um, say to my partners that, this year I want to have more fun. I am going to have more fun. This year is for laughing a bit more, and just sort of getting on with it. Uh, this does mean that there's some people that I reduce my contact with, or sort of don't talk with as much, because it's been, there's just some people that just sort of drag you down, that they can be happy and all that, but there's just so much negativity. Everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. It's always hard. It's, I'm too tired. It's, but I know more than you, so everything is just all bad, or anything like that. I mean, they just don't want to have a conversation. They shut you down with the whole "I know everything and I know more. I've researched more. I've thought about this more." Blah 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 blah. And I've done that myself. And I've said, "Look, I've thought about this, and this is, blah blah blah." And things like that. Also, the negativity, it's really draining. I've taken to substituting certain words, or trying to substitute certain words out of my vocabulary, such as, or phrases such as things like, "Oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted." And I'm like, "Oh, if you keep saying that over and over again, it gets in your brain. You're reprogramming your brain to be tired all the time." And trying to think of things like, not always maniacally, "Oh, everything's fine, everything's happy," but just like trying to stop that inner programming running all the time, over and over and over again. Just like, okay, my feet are tired. Just acknowledge it, like say, "I'm tired, my feet, blah blah blah." Okay, cool. Um, what good has happened today? You know, was someone excited to see me? Did I cuddle my puppy? Did I make my bed? Was a cup of coffee this morning, or tea, really exceptionally good? Being present in the moment, at least for a few seconds, if not maybe 5 minutes or so, and being grateful that there is so much that you have. I mean, if you're listening to me, seeing me, all that sort of stuff, you have a lot more than a lot of other people in the world, and that is something to be grateful for. I don't think there's enough graciousness in the world. There's always no, "We can do better, we can do this, we need that, we need parity on everything." I'm like, how about you also appreciate what you have in life, and be willing to compromise? To me, being able to compromise on certain things and being able to find ways around things means that they are also mentally equipped to deal with a lot of other different situations. There's a lot of people who buy into a lot of the panic, a lot of the stress, and a lot of whatever it is, um, and they keep narrowing their focus. I'd much rather broaden my focus and really challenge myself, be put in uncomfortable situations, do things I've not done before, I'm unsure of, and there's plenty of things that I've done over last year since COVID. I'm like, okay, I'll try this. I'm not sure about that. How about I reach out and do this? How about I read up on that? How about I try it? Is it as bad as I was thinking it was going to be? You can really psych yourself out of things, and really focus on the negative, so that you're not realizing that you're achieving something. So, um, that's all I can really say is, take care of the people around you. Even if it means sometimes you might have to either call them on their shit, which means you'll have a fight and possibly lose friendships, or being there with them and giving them cuddles. It's dependent on context and what's been going on before. Um, that's the thing. I can and I like to carry on and go on with stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'll forget a lot of things, because sometimes that's essentially me pointing out, hey, you're not really getting along or getting on with stuff. Have you really gotten on? Are you really getting on with life? You know. Anyway, I best be going. Also, good news, my neighbours across the way have gone. Um, I won't have to listen to them yell and scream at their kids anymore, which is a good thing. I won't have to listen to someone gurneying something at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why you would, I have no idea. But it happens. So, anyway, make sure you take care of yourself. Keep warm if you're cold. Keep cool if you're hot. Keep calm and stay kinky. And I don't know, give your fur baby a hug if you have a fur baby, or just sort of look at your partners and the ones that you love and go, hey, life isn't perfect, but you know what? I have all of this. Catch you guys later. Bye.